What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales, back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing. Saturday morning here, weather's good. Gonna get out, maybe do some running and climbing later on. I hope you're all getting out in the wild and doing some fun stuff away from your computers as well. Anyhow, a lot going on in the world right now. Really interesting time to be an observer of this great unraveling, unfolding. It's becoming more and more apparent by the day that there's been a massive change of order. And we've heard these words spoken by the likes of Ray Dalio and other real massive influential macroeconomic leaders in the world. But we didn't really understand what it means until we see these changes that are occurring right now. The BRICS nation changes, abandoning the petrodollar for trade purposes. We're seeing, the meetings in the Federal Reserve with... in Jackson Hole with all these world leaders talking about monetary policy in the West like there's nothing going on. It's the proverbial canary in the coal mine, isn't it? And it's almost like the West is, on the face of it, certainly on the media side of it, it's totally playing ignorant to the fact that the East has now abandoned the dollar in that terms. And so there's an interesting dynamic opening up here. Don't believe for a minute that this wasn't thought about long ago. And, they knew a change of guard was coming. They knew that once they removed the old dark cabal, the deep state from Washington, D.C., there'd be a better global system that would unravel. And we can see that now. We can see it in every part of the media. The tide has gone out and you can see the deep state. You can see it wide open. And I don't even need to put my tinfoil hat on for this. It's so blooming obvious. I hope you all can see it as well. If you don't see it, then it's time to open your eyes and just zoom out on that perspective. And I mean that with love. Nothing nasty. It's you've got to observe everything that's going on around you, from the lockdowns to everything where we are now. Anyway, we won't go too far down that rabbit hole today. Let's keep this light. Anyhow, this is my Twitter handle at Ripples in Wales. Give us a follow. And please, the channel is getting tons of good comments, likes, shares. If you could share the video, if you could like the video, if you could just drop a comment, tell me what your thoughts are. It means the world. I replied to every single comment so far in all these videos. There's 45 down now. I was looking across at Bradley Kimes and how many videos he's put out. He's put 2,600 videos out. What a legend. The relentlessness that in there is just so cool. Anyhow, without further ado, what's been going on? Well, we're going to have a listen to this lady today. Now, this lady's name is Madame Lagarde. Christine Lagarde. She was the former head of the IMF and she's now the current head of the ECB. Let's have a listen into what she said. She, if you notice the backdrop, is at Jackson Hole, where the level money playing field was hatched.
Hello to all of you, and I would like to share this magnificent panorama that is behind me. It is the setting of the Jackson Hole conference that takes place every year. It is a little bit like the Sintra of the West, except it's been around for longer. Many central bank governors, many academics, many experts in monetary policy and on the economy in general will be gathering for 2 days, and we will talk about the current situation, the major shifts that we are seeing, the major breaks, and how we can best respond with good policies that will actually help bring inflation back to 2%. This is the goal, this is the mission. We're not done yet. We are working hard. But we also have to compare notes and share our views with others so that we can have really the highest level of confidence that we are taking everything into account. But this is a very inspiring place to do it.
Now, where have we seen that scene before, that backdrop? If the picture's quite small there for you, let me show you before. We've talked about this on a number of occasions. This is the early Fed meetings in Jackson Hole where you had Marl Carney, and you might have seen this in my previous videos. I don't know if you've seen his video. Should we show it briefly? Let me just try and find it for you briefly. So Marl Carney was the... let me see if I can find it for you. It might just take a couple of seconds. It might be worth it though, because the mic drop that he leaves. Okay, Marl Carney Jackson Hole global virtual currency. Right, let's see if we can find this video. This is the one. Let me just find you a little bit snapshot. I should have prepared this before. I don't think so. Hold on. Crikey, these videos are just a pest, aren't they? I must upgrade. Right. So there's a part of this video.
The trade war escalating at a fierce pace this evening. President Trump just moments ago further raising...
Right, let me just listen to this
So,
one.
changing gears, last issue, Governor Carney, I really appreciate your time and thoughts on this. You dropped a bombshell in the luncheon there. That's the way I was described. It's almost like a mic drop. You are exiting this job, almost like a mic drop. And you said we need to go to a global virtual currency. It's a 23-page speech.
So he's exiting the job. Okay, he's leaving as the chancellor. He's basically the head of the Bank of England, the governor, as it's called in this country, the governor of the Bank of England. He's leaving his job, and he's dropped a 23-page document explaining that he believes that they all should move to a global virtual currency for trade. And this is all about trade. This whole meeting was about trade. Okay, and this guy's saying it's a mic drop. It's a mic drop. Anyway, this meeting is where the level monetary playing field term was hatched, and we can go back to these. Where are we? These images that I brought up for you on the back of the screen, just so you're aware. This is where it all comes from. Okay, this is it's going to bloody disappear now, isn't it? Hold on. If I just bring that down, let's bring that up, and let's bring it back up again. Right. Here we go. So this is the level playing field where it all hatched, and why the Riddlers use this field in the background. I've done a video yesterday for it, but the video crashed. I'm going to have to re-export it and edit it for you today. Bearable Guy also uses this in his timelines. It's all across underneath the mountains. It's a level monetary playing field. Right, okay. So you can see where I've posted this many times on my Twitter feed, and it hasn't been gaining much traction because people didn't quite understand it. Now they're starting to see these meetings occur, and it's where the insiders wanted you to gather your attention. There's a lot going on here. So you got Madame Lagarde down there, Jerome Powell. They're all meeting, and we've got all this stuff going on with BRICS. In fact, let's just listen to Jerome Powell and a couple of things that he said, which he caught my eye. Very interesting terminology that was used. I'm just going to scoot up to the top of my timeline, and we're going to listen to a little clip of Jerome Powell and listen to something he says. Have we got the sound on this? Why is it not sound? Right. So if you can see underneath here, this didn't show the whole clip, but it says Powell navigating the stars through cloudy skies. And I just put a comment. I mean, this guy said Jerome Powell's waxing lyrically. Okay, which means it's a play on words. And what I noticed straight away, and I just put this out in a tweet, Jerome Powell, did he actually say that? We are navigating the stars through cloudy skies. Just wow. Ripple Riddler, born of stars. Now, this image is very, very powerful. I believe it's here. I'm going to show you a clip. Okay? So, halfway through the scene here, you've got... I'm going to play it and then I'll tell you, actually. Let's have a listen. There we go. So the Riddler, or the insider, the bankers are on a piano going through the sky. And they're on top of the cloud base, and they've got Saturn in front of them, and they've got the starry skies. And let's just go back to what he said. Okay, we are navigating by the stars through cloudy skies. You can't make this stuff up. This is unbelievable. Anyhow, that's a big drop, okay? That's a big drop. But what he was in reference to saying was that we don't have much to go with. I'm a sailor, and we use celestial navigation sometimes for our... the larger boats for offshore navigation, they use celestial navigation. And when you're navigating by the stars through cloudy skies, it means you can't see where you're bloody going. Okay? Because if there's a cloud there, you can't see the stars. And that's your only means of navigation. Okay? It means they're stuck. It means their back's against the wall. Okay? It means it's very, very hard work for them to do. But interesting how the Ripple Riddler brought that in. I thought that was incredible. Anyway, another little thing that dropped out yesterday is Fiat. If I pronounced that wrong, Fiat, I apologise. So there's Donald Trump is inmate number PO 1135809. I mean, you couldn't strike that, could you? Anyway, so you got 113 in terms of the picture of Trump here. Essentially, it's 113589. That's just rather bonkers as well. And mugshot. I think Elon Musk posted something, retweeted Donald Trump's mugshot picture. Anyway, I think they did say that the first arrest would shock the world. So, Ford Jackson, an amazing cover of the pool stuff and obviously Ripple Riddler stuff as well. He's been on the scene for a while. He's had a like by BG123. He's definitely to be trusted. He's a good guy. He cracks some good stuff. Okay, switching gears onto BRICS. Okay, unbelievable stuff going on in BRICS at the minute. Six of the world's 9 largest oil producers now members of BRICS: Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, Brazil, Iran, UAE, and I believe their membership starts on January the 1st, 2024 for these new members. There's a lot going on in BRICS, and that has been going on at BRICS. I haven't covered it fully because I needed time to digest it and go through it. Bradley Kimes on Digital Perspective has covered it fantastically. I urge you to go and have a look at his channel. We're going to have a look at a clip in a second. We've seen them abandon the dollar for trade purposes. This is the article: breaking BRICS to officially abandon US dollar for trade settlements. It's important to denote that, trade settlements. Okay, now what are we talking about in DLT? What are we talking about? What provides settlement the quickest in DLT? Payments and settlements. Payments and settlements are very different, but our favourite native token to the LXRP provides a rather fast payment and settlement solution all in one. So look at the trade and then look at the word settlement. Everything is in the words. You've got to be very mindful about how you strip these things apart. Fascinating, excuse me. So there was another video here by Bradley Kimes. I want you to listen to this clip regarding Saudi Arabia and their and how they'll be Europe 2.0.
If they just replace, the old boss with a new boss.
Oh, hold on. That was another little bit of article. Okay, we're going to come back to that in a second. Hold on.
If the choice is no boss, if that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, I don't think they're going to see that as too much of a minus.
We're coming back to this.
Brad?
And there's the repeat of the question again. Will there be a run on Ripple? Look, here's what I want to show you.
This is the part.
This here is the Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman here from Saudi Arabia. And he is going to tell you, and this is for those that believe BRICS is still a joke. And again, what we're really seeing here, and again, I said I wasn't expecting to see a BRICS currency launch, and we didn't.
Neither was I.
I was looking for announcements, and we got them, right? And Saudi Arabia, knowing that they're going to join January 1, 2024, we have to be concerned about what that implication is to the exclusive arrangement to use U.S. dollars for oil trade, elevating the status of the dollar as a global reserve currency. Now, next 5 years, Saudi Arabia will be completely different. It will be the Middle East, will be the Europe 2.0, says Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman. Take a listen.
أنا أعتقد أن أوروبا الجديدة هي الشرق الأوسط.
Europe will be the Middle East.
المملكة العربية السعودية في ال5 سنوات القادمة سوف تكون مختلفة تماما. البحرين سوف تكون مختلفة تماما. الكويت حتى قطر على خلافنا معاهم لديهم اقتصاد قوي سوف تكون مختلفة تماما بعد 5 سنوات. الإمارات، عمان، لبنان، الأردن، مصر، العراق والفرص التي لديها. إذا نجحنا في ال5 سنوات القادمة سوف تلتحق فينا دول أكثر وسوف تكون اللحظة القادمة في العالم في 30 سنة القادمة في الشرق الأوسط.
Anyway, Saudi Arabia are gonna, Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE. Oh gosh, there's so many countries that have now been accepted into BRICS. Those nations are going to rise dramatically because the shackles have been reduced off them or removed from them. Remember that. Under the dollar, they were beholden to the US and its counterparts. There's things changing now. Anyhow, let's go back to a little clip that I spotted here. Bradley Kimes has been on fire. My word, this guy is a demon in the space. He is a demon in a good way, by the way. He's a gentleman and a scholar. There's an article that he played by David Schwartz that I wanted to listen to. Oh, really? I don't think so. Shopify. Right, 1 second. No, thank you.
Let me check this out real fast. We're going to head over to Rahul Advani.
Where is it?
Existing world.
Right.
In other words, everybody wants your liquidity. Nobody wants to provide it because they're...
Now, this next clip that's coming on here is about David Schwartz, and he's on a call, and he jumps in when people ask him questions about a global reserve currency. Let's have a listen. Hold on.
Scenario where people...
I think it's here.
Existing world reserve currencies to simultaneously exist.
This is it. Listen.
Now, the reason we're listening to this today is because we know we just saw that there was an announcement that Saudi Arabia and 5 other nations are going to join BRICS on January 1st, 2024. And that challenges the petrodollar agreement. Listen to David Schwartz's response to this, and then we've got something for you.
I do, and I think that could happen. I think it's quite realistic that a lot of the world is just done with the dollar as the reserve currency. Like, every nation would love for their currency to be the world reserve currency. That's helped the U.S., that's grown the U.S. economy, quote unquote, unfairly by leaps and bounds for decades. And every other country would be like, yeah, we'd like to have the world be the world reserve currency. But the only countries that could possibly pull it off is the U.S. holding its position, maybe the EU, maybe Russia, maybe 1 or 2 others. But realistically, most countries know that if there's going to be a new world reserve currency that's a country's currency, it's not going to be them. And so they might actually prefer a currency that nobody can control to one that's controlled by their largest geopolitical rivals. And so that's like what I think is the biggest possible success scenario for digital assets. If these countries are like, okay, well, the U.S. dollar can't hold on forever, but it's not going to be our currency because no one's going to want to repeat the U.S. dollar scenario. Nobody but the EU wants the EU to replace the dollar, right? Nobody but Russia wants the ruble to replace the dollar. Nobody but China wants the yuan to replace the dollar. So maybe they could settle on a currency that nobody could control rather than one controlled by their most powerful geopolitical rival. So if you want a success scenario, that's the one that I think is the most likely.
Wow.
But the moment you get everybody to agree.
Well, I mean, they might agree if the alternative is that their geopolitical rivals force some new replacement for the dollar that's not. If they just replace, the old boss with a new boss. If the choice is no boss, if that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency.
Wow, he's so smart.
They're going to see that as too much of a minus.
That's good,
Brad.
Sorry, I spoke over the last bit there. He said, I don't think if it makes cryptocurrency makes a bunch of people rich, they're not going to be too bothered. It's not going to be too much of a minus. That's exactly what he said. He's such a smart guy, David Schwartz. My God. As an interesting little side note, I believe one of his family taught in Oxford in physics alongside one of our family. We spoke about it once on Twitter. Part of our family are lecturers, a professor in physics in Oxford, and I believe David's father? David's father was a physics genius down that side of things, and he had links to Oxbridge. Anyhow, interesting stuff. So we've got all this going on. David Schwartz presenting an eventuality on how you could end up having a set of countries adopt a neutral asset rather than maybe another forced one instead of the US dollar. And as I've said before, it's like a G20, G7 reaction to the West bringing in the new system, right? Very interesting times. Anyway, I hope that's good. I will leave it at that for today. I've got a couple of videos trying to repair from yesterday. It didn't go through well. But please like the video. Please subscribe. Drop a comment. Share the video between your friends if it makes sense to you. So it's good. Nice to see you all in all the comments. It's really fantastic. Enjoy your Saturdays, whatever you're doing. See you in the next video. Be blessed.